Here we go. Sit back and relax and enjoy chat room as we kick it off finally in 3, 2, 1.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
This here's the Boop Show, episode 294. This is Monday, July 19th, 2021. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Boop Show. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Dunaway. Hello, Brian Dunaway.
Oh, hi, Scott Johnson. How are you
man.
doing?
I'm all right. We didn't have a show last week because things got crazy, and we both had wacky schedules, and as a result, it didn't happen.
You can't just say things got crazy. You got to say it like a used car salesman.
Oh.
It got crazy.
Crazy. Everything must go. But no, we had to go. But we're back, and we're doing a show, and we got stuff today to discuss, hopefully along the lines of things that will make you interested, dear gamers and listeners who might be home listening to us right now. You know who you are. I got to make a decision, though. I got to plant a flag in the ground and, like, call it or not. And that is, do I actually like playing Cooking Simulator? Because it's starting to creep up my butt and be a problem. It's really fun, I think. I think it's fun. But then again, I don't know if I ever want to play it off stream. Like, it's only fun on stream because people are laughing at how bad I am. But that game's like that. Remember that surgeon simulator back in the day where you're flopping organs all over the place and it was all just meant for laughs? I think that's what they're doing here. They just make it seem like it's possible to be like a good chef, but really it's just meant to be goofball and dumb. Like, I don't know. I can't tell, Brian.
And this is called Cooking Sim? I thought you were talking in general.
No.
Like Cooking Sims.
No, I'm bad at cooking sims in general. I'm bad at cooking in general, but this game is called Cooking Simulator. And it's one of those, chore core games where you're doing work and you're trying to pretend like you're playing a video game.
They can't call that on this show.
Why not? Why not? Why?
You can't call it the
core. Oh, because you see the word core. See, I don't have core in there because of the show name. It's core like in like hardcore chore game. See, that's
gotcha. Right, but you're still saying core.
Yeah, you're right. And I know you don't like it when I do that. You don't like it when I say that.
No,
word.
Actually, I do. What are you talking about? I love John and Bo and you additionally. So, I mean, we all have a good time.
We certainly do.
We're
back. We're glad to be here.
But,
and you had this question about... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been interrupting everybody all day because I haven't had any sleep. So I'm running about 3 or 4 steps behind everybody. So I keep talking over people. Sorry about that.
I feel you.
Anyway,
I feel you.
Did you see that Bear's Restaurant is on Switch now?
No.
Speaking of like simulators, the little restaurant little simulators.
What is that thing like? You run a bear restaurant? What you serve bear, or are you a bear? How's it work?
It's really weird sounding. Hold on a second. I'll read you the description. It's been on the iPhone and Android for a while now, for about $4 if you unlock it without ads. You can play it for free with ads. But Bear Restaurant, in this restaurant, the dead will have the last supper: hamburgers, omelet, sushi, pudding, anything. Sushi pudding, gross. Let us cook your favorite dish when you were alive. This is a story about Bear and Cat. And that's about as much description as you need about Bear's Restaurant.
Okay. All right.
Bear and Cat. A cat is apparently the subservient to the bear, which is probably the right way to do it.
So already a mobile sensation, this game.
Correct. It's been out since around 2019 on mobile. And like I said, it's free with ads, or you can unlock the whole deal for like $5. But I think it's like $12 on the Switch right now.
And you're what? You're serving up food out there in the forest as a bear?
Exactly.
Okay.
You're serving up but I saw it and people seem to think it's quirky, and I was thinking, I like quirky. I
like Quirky a lot. Yeah, I don't have a problem with Quirky. Quirky and I are friends.
Yeah, there he is now. Look at that bear.
Oh yeah, it looks like one of those.
Oh, he's standing over top of the cat, which looks like a mouse, by the way.
Okay, so there's the bear. I assume they changed the camera angle on this thing, right? Because it's tall.
No, I like it. Well, I'm assuming they do for the Switch.
For the Switch, yeah.
I mean, unless you turn it sideways, I suppose.
Oh, that
cat looks suspiciously like a mouse.
Yeah, I think that cat's a mouse. I don't know if I believe any of these things are what they say they are. I don't even think that's a human that mouse is talking to. All right, well, watch for that. That should be a lot of fun.
Right.
A few other things in the news. Let's get to them. always something happening in the indie space. And right now, good news if you want to go grab yourself a copy of Radio Viscera. You can get it as of July 13th. Ooh. If you haven't heard about this, it's a fast-paced, top-down action game with brutal industrial violence, bloody arcade action, and a rebellious spirit. Brian, if you have a chance to look at this or mess with it much, you play it.
Actually, yes, I did. I tried out. Okay, so me and Scott were talking offline about where to get game codes for review. So, because we got, there's just so many indie games. It's just impossible for us just to review everything. So we had to kind of vet them a little bit. And so I actually got this off, I usually get off Keymailer, but I was trying out Woovit.com, and this is one of the campaigns they were running. They said, hey, you want to kick over this? I said, yeah, I'll do it. And so I played it. And it's got like a voxel kind of vibe to it somewhat.
Yeah, lots of
in
physics,
certain areas.
Lots of physics flying around in there.
A lot of physics. Now, what you're seeing is this little guy, he's running around, he's doing his little shooting thing, got a little shooting adventure here. Mm-hmm. But what I didn't realize was I thought, oh, I shoot the enemy, he dies, and then I move on to the next one, right? That's what you're thinking.
That's what you normally do, sure.
That's what you normally do. But no, the gun is more like akin to something like an air gun or something where it like pushes people. It pushes the bad guys into like fans, like all these industrial things that you're going through. So you're garbed out in this, biohazard suit kind of thing, and you're trying to get through this area, this industrial place.
Yeah.
And you're just knocking people into fans, and they're just getting chopped up in little pixel bits.
It sounds all right. Sounds like a good time. I think I could play this game.
I enjoy what I played so far. I think there's a demo. I was just trying to see. A lot of these games, like we talked about in the past, a lot of these games are throwing out demos. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of day-and-date demos these days. Let's see. Yeah. This one does not, however.
It does not.
$16, very early, 8 reviews.
Yeah. $16 for another 20 hours. So if you're listening live, you're probably in luck. If not, hey, what you gonna do? And it looks like one friend of mine on Steam wants this game.
Ooh. How many friends do you have on Steam? Do you have a lot?
I have around 950.
Yeah, I'm in the range.
When I say friend, I mean more like our gaming community.
Sure.
That's who these people really
are.
By the way, we have a.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, well, we know we had. Don't forget, we also have the Boop Show community now. This kind of the old Final Score community is still huge and large and still active, and I've been slowly plucking people from there and bringing them over to the Boop Show current.
Nice, because we still have the old. I don't know how Steam groups work anymore, but there's like an old group, right? Like an old.
Yeah, I think they're called Steam communities now. I don't think they're called groups.
Gotcha. Those bastards. Yeah, all right. Well, also going on right now.
No, they're called groups. You were right.
Oh,
they are called groups.
Steam groups.
I'm a moron.
Hey, everyone's got their names. A lot of socials out there. They're expecting us to remember all of them. F those guys. All right. Hey, we didn't even talk. You know what we haven't talked about?
What?
Because we were gone.
Yeah.
Holy shit. We didn't talk about the Steam Deck, the new Steam Deck. We didn't talk about that.
No, we haven't. We haven't talked about the Steam Deck.
This is a significant product, perhaps, for the kind of stuff we cover. Because imagine, let's say you just do the middle ground 256 gigabyte SSD version of the thing. Mm-hmm. You now have possibly the greatest, most portable, most installable indie playing video game device of all time. Forget about all this other stuff. Like all your Steam games will play. Yes, all that other stuff's great. It's a great Game Pass device. A lot of people hadn't been thinking about that, but damn straight it will be. That'll be a great Game Pass device. It's almost like the first Xbox handheld was made by Steam, is what some people are saying.
Right.
But from an indie standpoint, if you're way into indies and you just want to chock that hard drive full of freaking roguelikes and deck builders, just imagine your life after that. It's amazing.
It is amazing. I'm a little worried. I'm a little
what are you worried
worried
about? What are you
because
worried about?
Look, I'm super excited. I think the problem is when I saw it, I got super excited. And I said, wait a minute. Valve has done this to me before. I've been super excited about a thing like their controller. And I was like, ooh, I really liked it, but it really didn't have a place. And now it sits in my closet.
It was poop. I think that thing sucked. It was garbage.
It did. Okay, so this is the problem with the Steam controller. It doesn't suck. It's actually a really high quality piece of machinery that is amazing, but it really has no point because I mean, what it was trying to do was trying to be a controller, but additionally a keyboard replacement. And so as a result, they made a lot of compromises to make and kind of destroyed the controller part of it.
Yeah.
And it never really really fulfilled everything for the keyboard part, but it was really interesting. Very very, a really big effort.
Had they
was put
iterated
into
on it, done a second model, they should put like a second proper stick on there. That was
And
the biggest mistake.
I think this is kind of the spiritual successor to that. This is the where it went to, right? Because
Sorta,
I'm
yeah.
sure you use a lot of their technology there on that.
Yeah.
But remember the Steam Link? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I have one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did too. And I was so excited when I first got it. And then the reality of, either having to run a cable. I'm like, well, I might as well just run an HDMI cable if I'm going to run a network cable. It's like, we
Yeah.
could do it over Wi-Fi. And I'm like, well, Wi-Fi, if you tried to Wi-Fi something like a
Not as good.
AAA title,
Not as good.
it's going to suck.
Yep.
So they ended up giving those things away.
Yep.
Now, of course, their VR set is awesome. Very expensive. I would love to be able to, to purchase that. But so they've excited me many times in the past. But this is very exciting. But I'm a little worried because it is going to be running on the Steam OS.
Yeah.
And it's going to have the Proton compatibility layer. And I'm worried, especially about indies getting kind of left out. I feel like AAAs will, they'll definitely get, pushed and done correct. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
just
But
install Windows on there like a proper human being. That's what you can do.
Well, I know you could, but we're talking about a 2019 APU, and we're talking about a little bit. I don't know. I just don't know if
You can
once
install
put Windows on there, if it's gonna run
Windows
like
on there. You can install your Steam. The best part of this thing, this is what I love about it. It's like a sneaky little poke at Epic without actually having to be. But you can install Windows, put the Epic Store on there, and play all your Epic games on your freaking Steam Deck.
I'm
That's
so
pretty great.
excited about that part.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I think the problem is I'm super excited.
Yeah.
What's the price points? It's like $399 for the smallest one. It's got a little slower hard drive in it, but of course you can use the SD cards. How well will that work with some games?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out later, I suppose.
It's all
telling you, man, this
disk
is really
space and
big.
speed of the disk. So the two higher end models use that NVMe
Right.
rather
Yeah.
technology that the new consoles are using, or at least I know the Series X and S do. I'm not sure about what the PS5 does. It's a similar thing.
Right.
And the middle one is faster than the 64 gig, but the 512 is faster than either. Also, the 512 has some kind of screen anti-glare business. I don't know what that's about.
Yes.
And that's it, though. That's really the big difference. There's
That's
some
it.
there's
Yeah.
a carrying case for all three, so you get to carry it around.
Yeah, right. I worry because I haven't held it in my hand yet. I know it's a pretty small form factor. It's going to probably create a pretty good bit of heat. I don't know that the controllers look high up on the device. And this is all stuff that I'm just trying to convince myself to not be excited about.
No,
it,
I
Scott.
get you.
That's really
I
all
get
it
you.
is.
The guys over at I want to say EGN or somebody got hands on with one.
IGN's got exclusives.
Or IGN.
Right on that. Yeah.
And they really liked the controller placement, and that surprised me because when I first saw it, I'm like, that is so high up there. Really, we doing that? But I guess they say
Yeah.
it feels great in your hands, and it probably depends on your hands. But they got extra triggers in the back. They got those weird touchpads in the front, which will probably emulate what they were trying to do with their controller with the circles. Probably That's what that is, I guess. One nice thing about this versus say the Switch, if that's your comparative device, is that this will let you Bluetooth accessories and things. So if you want to have Bluetooth earbuds and not worry about a cable, this will do that. Why the Switch doesn't have a Bluetooth option for
that's
earphones
a big pain for. I don't like how Nintendo did that, and I don't like how Sony does. I mean, it's not really a handheld, but there's Sony stuff. Sony's always been notoriously bad about. I want to use this Bluetooth headset, and you're like, nope, got to be part of this group here, and I'm like,
picky and weird. I know, but
back off.
I think this is. I think it's a really interesting. It's a really interesting play by them, and it does need. Here's my thing. So I put down the $5 reservation fee, whatever you do, right?
What is that? Is that like 1% down or something? I think.
Yeah, but all it does is save you a place in line, is what it does. So you don't have to. I'm not locked into spending the $500 or whatever it is if I don't want to, but it's there, so I've reserved it. The servers were in and off and bad and crappy all day, so I ended up getting in kind of late. And my date says estimated Q2 of 2022. So Whatever I'm doing, it's a ways off if it even happens at all.
Okay, so it's $5 no matter which one you reserve.
Yeah, no matter what you reserve, you put down $5. It's their way of keeping scalpers at bay and some other stuff. It's fine the way they're doing it. I don't have a problem with it.
Which one did you go with?
I got the high end one. If I'm gonna get in,
if you're gonna go $529, you might as well go $649, right?
Yeah, but also, I don't know. You always have regrets if you don't go the higher one.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you're gonna regret it because
Yeah.
it is gonna be a tough call. I mean, look, if you put easily, you got plenty of games out there, almost 100 gigabytes, just one game, really fast.
Yeah.
You're just gonna eat up.
Right, it's
all of
going to
it.
eat up that space really fast. And yes, fast SD cards are cool for other storage, but I don't know. Like, I'm going to end up using this to stream a lot of stuff. If I'm honest, I'm going to end up doing a lot of stream from Steam.
That is an interesting part because you mentioned loading up Windows on it, which I think that would break my experience. Why not just buy a little computer? Anyway,
it is a little computer though. That's what it is.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, don't break the mojo.
You want the immersion
thing
that
got
you're
going on.
Yeah, you want the immersion that you're on some super hyper realistic Game Boy future and it's some sort of special magic
device. If I'm spending $650, I want that thing as is to be totally functional. I don't want to do a hacking crap. That's not. I don't mind doing that on some other things, but this, no.
How do you feel about Elgato coming out the same day? This is the worst luck of the industry. They came out the same day with an update to their Stream Deck. And so,
oh my God.
Yeah.
I know. I thought that was the worst ever. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I hate Steam.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? There's a Stream Deck and it is in the same area. I'm like, how can you get away with this if Elgato doesn't at least make a stink? They're fools.
Maybe.
Because,
I mean,
there's
like
some
Steam.
brand confusion there for sure.
I love Steam.
You love Steam, though. You've said it before.
Yeah, I love Steam.
Yeah.
But like I said, let's talk about some brand confusion. I mean, it's within the same, same area. It's a gaming-related device. I mean,
no, it
I'm
will
Elgato,
destroy.
I'm like-
Here's what it will do. It will destroy any brand knowledge of the Stream Deck unless you're really involved in streaming. For
Yes.
gamers, they will not even think of that. They'll say, someone will even say, hey, did you see the new Stream Deck? You mean Steam Deck? No, Stream Deck.
Yeah.
No, you mean Steam Deck. That's the conversations people are going to have. It's going to be great.
Oh God, I can't wait.
GameStop. I'm telling you, we're back there again, baby. It's going to be great. Anyway, I would if I were Elgato, I'd probably just rename the damn thing because at this point, what do you do?
I mean, why not? I mean, and it's kind of going.
Sorry.
I'm not even sure how much longer they're going to keep supporting the Stream Deck anyway. I mean, they pretty much. I mean, the phone has pretty much replaced it in their app. I mean, I'm sure they make way more money selling the monthly subscription fee to their app that does essentially the same thing. And if you just got the 12 button controller, your phone's just as large.
Yeah,
I mean,
like screen wise, I mean, this is 7 inches. I forget what.
Yeah.
Like the iPhone, the latest iPhone's 6.5.
right.
It's a little smaller. The new Switch screen, the OLED screen, is 7. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of, in a lot of ways, I'm like you. I'm torn. If this thing's really, really cool technology in terms of what I'm looking for is a sturdy build. That's what I want. I want something that feels like well made and sturdy and industrial and not creaky and plastic squeaky and all that.
Yeah.
If it's not that, that'll go a long way to convincing me that this is a cool premium device to have that will last a long time, that you're going to use well into the future. If it's creaky and squeaky, a lot like their controller was, I may not be your
Now
guy.
that controller, I didn't think it was too squeaky. Now I think you're probably referring to some of those haptic kind of feedback kind of things where it's like the D-pad was the left-hand controller, which was terrible because it was a touchpad, but also a D-pad, but you had to press it really hard.
It was bad.
D-pads need. Oh, you're talking about the creakiness. Oh, the haptic feedback definitely. When you're touching the pads and stuff, it would go like.
Yeah, but even just like the plastic arms on the thing, if you're okay, so here's an Xbox One controller,
right,
almost current gen but last gen controller. When I squeeze these sides, they don't go, but the Steam one does. If I had it, I'd do it.
Mine doesn't. Good Lord, where'd you get yours from?
From Steam, from Valve. So you know what I did? I sold it on eBay for like $12.
Interesting. No,
Yeah.
mine doesn't creak at all. At first, I did think it creaked because I was like, when I was running my thumb over the pad, it was like making this feedback thing. I was like, what is that all about?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. It's a weird deal, but we'll see what happens this Christmas for many of you. For the rest of us suckers, we got to wait a while, or maybe not get it at all. We'll
I
see.
might just reserve mine right now to see. Oh yeah, it's already telling me Q2 2022. So
But has there ever been a bigger launch lineup than this? By that I mean just the massive
whole Steam
availability of
library.
of games, your existing library and the potential of library for Steam. Even if you've never been a Steam user, this launches with the most available things to play of any handheld and or console of all time. Now, that's where you start getting to the brain thing of like, well, that's because it's just a computer, and all computers are launching with the best library of all time. They're right, but, it's in this little compact deal with the thing and the screen and the whatnot. It's going to be cool. So,
God, I want it to be cool, and I don't want it to. I like the way it looks like it's got an air vent in the back, and that it pushes it out to the top. And I'm hoping that I'll keep my hands good and away from all the heat that I feel like this thing's going to generate, because it's not really a mobile processor inside that thing. And so I don't know. How's the battery life going to be? Gen 1 scares me on this thing.
Yeah, they say 7 to 8. They say 7 to 8 hours, but some stuff with like high graphic settings might get you down to 2 or 3, and it's
but not us. We play indie games. That thing will last like 24 hours.
We'll be all right. Someone in the chat says, but this is already a thing. No, I know that there are lots of like little PCs. I have one here somewhere that's like got a full keyboard and everything. It's some Chinese thing where you open it up and there's Windows. Like I know these exist. That's not what this is. This is them
Valve
saying.
Is also.
This is them saying, hey, we're going to bridge the effing gap. We're gonna make up for all the weird little holes that is a PC and a console, and we're going to meet in the middle and make something that feels like it's right on both. And and that's what they're doing. It's different. It's different. So
I can't wait until this time next year when we get to go back and listen and see how much we got right and how much we got wrong. I will say this: they're also putting out specs and everything else. They're encouraging other manufacturers to make these as well. So it's not going to be just locked into you have to have the Steam Deck. There's going to be some other things, from what I understand so far, what I've heard.
And if you live in if you live in New Zealand, you have to call it a Steam Deck. Steam Deck.
Yeah, still a Steam Deck.
Yeah, Steam Deck. Get used to it.
Do you roll your R when you say Australia?
I say Australia. What do you do?
Okay. I just say Australia as well. I can't roll R.
Yeah,
so
you and I are fine. It's how you say horror that gets me every time.
It's the horror of the whole. It's like the nanny or something. Yep. Is that how I say it?
I don't know if it's like the nanny, but when I say I like to play horror games, you say I like to play horror games.
I like to play horror games, Scott.
I don't know what accent that is, but all right. Someone in the chat says, but will it blend? The Steam Deck, will it blend?
Oh, of course it won't.
Probably not. Or maybe it would, but I don't know if you'd want to do that. Don't do that.
Right. It's exciting times, though. I wonder what Nintendo's doing. Nothing. They don't give a crap.
They just
keep on selling their OLEDs.
Their OLEDs, yeah. I think they aren't that worried. I mean, and I'm not either for them. Like Nintendo.
No.
Guess what the Steam Deck won't have, other than people are cheating around.
All the freaking IP properties that Nintendo has.
Yeah, they don't have that, and that's a thing that has proven to be a big hammer to wield in this business.
Yes.
They are currently like. For all the other stuff that exists out there, they cover like 5 of the top 10 slots every month in game sales. And right now the Switch.
What kind of crappy hardware do you think they would have to sell to not get the next generation?
The Wii U.
The Wii U? Is that it?
The Wii U was
bad.
bad.
That was the thing.
Yeah,
that was where we all drew the line. It's like I don't care what titles you put out. I'm not getting this Wii U.
That was a bad time. You got to remember some of those best titles are already on the Switch because they just kind of moved them up. Mario Kart and whatever. But I got for my birthday, somebody got me a copy. My daughter got me a copy of that not Wind Waker, the one I never played.
Oh yeah,
Skyward
the one
Sword.
that was on the right.
Never played it. Playing it there. So far so good. I really like it. But the point is, the Switch just prints money. But you could also argue a thing like the Steam Deck doesn't exist in a Switchless world. So in a lot of ways, Nintendo's like, well, hey, this is not only possible, but also people really like it, and the uptake's pretty good. Plug it into a TV.
The Switch wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Wii U, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, you can keep going backwards if you want, but my point is like Does Valve even make this in a Switchless world? I don't think so.
Right. I think the most interesting, I don't know. The whole thing is just totally fascinating. I can't wait to see it unfold. This is exciting to me. I hope it either does something amazing or just shits the bed, because I want this to either be on the table or off the table. I don't want no lukewarm, it's okay. I don't want that.
Yeah. Mainly I'm just looking for how.
Kind of like the PS Vita. Remember that thing?
I like the Vita. I like the Vita.
I did too, but it's just like, eh.
The Vita was awesome. I just think Sony never gave a shit. I don't know. They did,
Right.
but they didn't. Like toward the end, they were just like, whatever, just let it go. But I was like, man, you guys had a cool piece of hardware there. It was built well. It was awesome.
Yes.
I could have hacked
But
one
they
to run Game Pass.
They couldn't put that stuff in enough hands. And I think that hurt it.
Well, yeah, but they don't have the Nintendo magic either. They don't have those IPs.
No.
They have some of them. I mean, they can say, yeah, we got God of War. We got freaking Last of Us. Well, these are heady, big games of, they're not, hey, I'm going to play Mario Kart. I have to have a Switch now. Like they don't have that factor. And
Right.
it never worked that way. All right.
Right.
Let's get to this story here. Check this out. Releasing this week, guys. Brand new. So go get it in your grubby little hands.
Check it.
This is a game called Chris Tales.
Right.
C-R-I-S. No C-H. C-R-I-S.
That's right.
Chris Tales. Very animated, lovely looking game. It says here you can experience the past, present, and future simultaneously in this gorgeous indie love letter to classic JRPGs. Chris Tales is a gorgeous indie lover's letter to... Oh, I already said it twice. That's fantastic. You must embark across Crystalis in the Four Kingdoms in a bid to stop the powerful Time Express and rewrite the future of the world and all those who live in it. The animation is amazing.
Yeah, hand-drawn 2D art, animated frame by frame.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It doesn't look anime to me. It looks like it's more like I don't know, Samurai Jack kind of.
Yeah, and I did a deeper dive. If you want to look this up, they had some really good interviews with the developers of this game, and some of the locations that they drew. They didn't just have somebody imagine these locations. They actually took from real life these locations, and so they're just gorgeous.
It looks
gorgeous.
Neat. It looks really neat. And it's got this whole time hopping thing, and some of the environments are different in the future than they are in the past, and it looks rad. So go check it out. That's Chris Tales, available July 20th, which is tomorrow.
Which is tomorrow for those who are listening live or whatever day it is in your universe.
Now,
Modus Games was the publisher, and Dreams Incorporated and Syck, S-Y-C-K, are the developers of that. So I'm interested to see what's going on.
Those guys are sick.
These guys are sick.
I'd also like to recommend the one I'm getting tomorrow, which is Death's Door.
Yes.
I am absolutely picking this up. This is a Devolver Digital joint. They showed this off briefly at E3. And
how smooth it looks.
It looks amazing.
So
it's top-down, three-quarter view looking, almost Diablo view looking deal. Lots of melee combat stuff going on. The main thing here is that you're a freaking, what are you, a penguin? Or a crow? What are you? I forgot.
You're a crow. It's honest work for a crow to reap those souls, baby.
Yeah, look at him.
You're a soul reaper.
And it just looks delightfully.
Look at the shadowing.
Absurd.
Look at the shadows and stuff. This is such a smooth looking game. We see so many voxels and pixel games that sometimes I forget how sleek
this is beautiful.
An indie game can look.
Yeah, and this is definitely. I mean, this is
boss fights. Those
polygonal.
boss fights look amazing.
Yeah, the boss fights look insane. It looks just great. And I like that you're a little crow that doesn't actually fly. You're running around with a sword. That's badass.
Right.
Yeah. So Death's Door.
What is it about? So what is your favorite anthropomorphic? No, how do I say that word? What's your favorite animal when it becomes human personified in video games? I've found for some reason, I didn't know this about me until recently, but every time there's a mouse game, I'm like, oh, I want to get that. I want to see mouses be human.
That's a great question. I don't know if I have one. Probably I like foxes.
Oh yeah, foxes are very common.
Foxes
How about pandas?
are cool.
Pandas are okay.
Pandas
yeah.
are all right. Yeah, I'd do a panda. I'm
panda.
coming around on crows. This crow looks awesome.
The crow is bad A.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I can't think of anything else. But I'm down for anthropomorphic. There you go.
Yes. And
Anthro.
they're right in the chat.
Homorphic.
They're right in the chat room because of the red wall stuff. I love that, and it's just so much fun. I don't know what is. I think ever since the Secret of Nim primed me as a kid,
Yeah.
to have the mouse and rats is people.
Yeah.
I think I just can't stop.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Is that
I feel
what
you.
is that? Hades? What are they playing?
So they're playing Hades. I thought I would show a little bit of video of this thing. This is IGN's hands-on. They do have a kickstand for this thing. I didn't realize that.
No, nice.
But you're playing. They're playing the video game here. They got the video game handheld here. They're playing it, and it looks
I'm
great.
just worried I'm gonna get it and I'm not gonna know what to do with it.
Look how
Like,
big
I'm
it
gonna
is
be
in
one
his
of-
hands. By the way, look at that. That
That gets
is a
pretty
big
big
effing. That looks like a gigantic.
Because that guy's pretty big.
Yeah,
That's
he's not.
pretty big
He's not a
dude.
small guy. I'm gonna go over there and screen cap this because my joke is gonna be about how that's the
And
biggest
then-
N gauge I've ever seen. So we'll talk about that.
Right, so it's Bo Moore for scale. Is
Yeah.
what you need to put on that. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You need Bowmore for scale. What else? Oh, that's it. Those are the games coming out. Check them out because
Yeah.
they're rad and it's looking real good. Now this. Let's talk about my game this week. It's a little game called Crash Drive 3. And if you're not familiar with Crash Drive 1 or 2, well, welcome to the club. I had no idea what it was either. Never heard of them. No idea what these are. Some people probably think of them as a beloved now 3-part series, but in my head, it didn't exist yet. All right, so let me tell you about this thing. You'll see from the video chat room, and I'll tell people at home who are getting the audio version of the podcast, it's a big open world sort of arena sandbox space. In particular, this zone here is the starting zone, and it's a specific biome. It's frozen stuff, so ice.
Oh,
Excuse me, snow, ice, that kind of stuff. And in it are
that
loop-de-loops.
Mustang.
Yeah, the car you're driving is real stupid. It is not an actual Ford branded car, however, but it is clearly a Mustang.
But it is clearly a Mustang.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They
Oh,
weren't
and look
messing
at the
around.
look at the axle on that thing. That thing is jacked up.
Yeah, it's real dumb. Let me explain so the kind of idea here is, hey, what if there's a giant sandbox and then every few minutes the game goes, hey, we're doing a new event, and that event is a race event. Everybody get to the starting line. You can hit a button to get there or get there on your own. Another event is let's kick this soccer ball around, and whoever destroys the soccer ball gets the most points. And then we got one that's like blow up as many bombs as you can or collect as many coins as you can or whatever. So it's all these like not mini games, but different event style games that happen inside this world. And the car and the racing handling is done very arcadey. There's nothing realistic about this at all.
Right.
If anything,
I'm
I
gonna
found
get
it too
instant
floaty, but
comparisons to something like Rocket League. Is that
maybe. I mean, there's no combat, so you know,
Right.
fire guns or missiles or anything, which is maybe kind of a bummer. That'd be great if you could.
I like your cop
yeah.
hat.
Yeah, you wear a little cop hat because you're the leader or whatever. Or no, you're one of the cops and you're doing cops and robbers right now. So you have to basically you're playing tag, and
Right.
you have to go tag the car that's it, and then
Insurance fraud.
then someone else becomes the guy or whatever. You can go underwater. You can go inside tunnels. There's secret stuff everywhere. You got a turbo button that refills over time, and it all this. When you level up and progress in the game, you can improve your car's handling. You can change the paint job. You can get better cars. Like there's, as you can imagine, there's a bunch of that stuff. It's also cross-play. So when I played it, it's 100% multiplayer. I should say that. They let you go screw around on your own if you want, but the game is meant to be like, hey, I'm hopping in and there's like 30 people in here and we're all playing together. I suppose you could team up with somebody, but I've only played with strangers. Anyway, it's crossplay, so I played on PC against people on their Switch, against people on their Xbox, people on their PlayStation. It shows you above their head who they are and where they're from or what platform they're on. I would highly recommend a controller. Anyway, it's real stupid, and by that I actually mean that in a good way. It leans into stupid in a pretty fun way. It's just mayhem. Like this would be a pretty fun one to stream. I may end up doing that. And there's lots of weird, stuff on the levels to find or to break through or to, you get secrets and achievements and stuff. So it's not just these events, but a lot of it is. And if you get the most points, obviously you get out of there, and next time you're in the garage, you get a bunch of upgrades. So you want to do the best you can. There really are no real stakes here. You're gonna get some points no matter what. You never die.
Oh,
You just
nice.
flip back over, that kind of stuff. It's
I
not.
like the achievements because they're the humorous. I like a good humorous achievement.
Yeah. It leans into that stuff. Like it's just like,
Right.
hey, let's be dumb. Here's a dumb simulator. Let's play that kind of game.
What I don't like
yeah.
is trees in my racing car game.
You're not a tree fan.
I hate they're the ultimate foil to my racing game.
Well, I guess everything's gonna have a tree though, right? You gotta have trees. Trees are everywhere.
You don't have to have trees. I don't need a tree. This is why does this place look? We're at a biome right now. It's on like a lake frozen
lake
thing.
Yeah.
Why are there trees?
A lake frozen thing.
Lake frozen thing. Why is there a tree? Why is there even a tree anywhere in there?
Well, there's
only like
any...
2 trees, and he's hit them both times.
Well, there's no trees in the lake itself, but on the edges of the lake and stuff, yeah, there's a bunch of trees. You're right. But they're meant to be like any obstacles. You're trying to get around this stuff, and you really can't wreck. You can go full speed turbo into a brick wall, and you're fine. It doesn't care.
You take no damage at all. It doesn't show damage on the car or nothing.
No, none of that. Your car looks like shit, but that's just because that's how it was when you got there.
That's just that's how it was when I got it.
Yeah, that's how the car was when I bought it. It's just it's kind of ugly. Like it's not. There's not a lot graphically going on here. It gets the job done, but there's nothing that you're going to go, oh my gosh, the next gen level I'm looking at here. It's more like, I don't know, a PlayStation 2 game with up-res graphics, maybe high def resolution.
Did you ever play Viper? That old Viper game, you just had nothing but Vipers in the whole game.
No, but I remember there was a trend for that because remember they had one for Volkswagen Bugs as well, and that's all they had were bugs in the game.
Right.
And I do remember Viper, but I never played it.
It feels like that, but with stunts.
And the Vipers never got hurt, right? Because they didn't want their car to get wrecked.
I'm trying to remember. I think you could turn damage on, but I can't quite remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. They're usually kind of picky about that stuff, the car manufacturers.
Yeah.
But you never know. Anyway,
this guy
there's not much else to say about it except that it's just real dumb. And in a very good way. Like I really had fun with this. I don't know what the frame rates are like on the Switch version. I can tell you on the PC I'm getting, I think I'm 120 frames, 144, whatever it is. And
that's a pretty big open map this car is on right now. Now the other maps are, but that could take some rendering.
Yeah, and when you open up these other biomes, they're similar sized because again they're just meant to be playgrounds, kind of.
Yeah, you can see all the way to the edge. I mean, I'm not seeing like anything.
Like pop in and stuff.
Whoever's playing this.
Yeah, there's no real pop in or anything. Now the Switch version, I don't know. It may be locked at 30 and doesn't look as good. I don't know. I haven't played it, but I gotta say, I had a lot of fun while I was playing it. Even though I know how dumb it is, like I know that this is a game for like a 6-year-old to just like giggle at and then never touch
it's
again.
It's repetitive, but it's a good game loop. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good game loop.
Yeah, and it is. Oh, chat says, I just took it to Tool, however you say your name, says it's like Tony Hawk with a car, kind of. It's not an advanced trick system though. There's no like, cool tricks to land, but there are tons of events and crazy achievements to hit that are very Tony Hawk. I kind of agree with that. It's got kind of a Tony Hawk vibe. And if that sounds like fun, well then maybe this is
you know what? From here on, I'm gonna imagine that Tony Hawk is driving that car you're driving.
He might be.
I'm gonna imagine he's in the driver's seat.
Yeah, he's no spring chicken. He's got to start driving instead of riding that thing all over the place.
Oh my God, he just went into the water.
Yeah,
he got some money though, so that was good.
You can be in the water all the time. It has no care for oxygen or any of that stuff. It's like, hey, video game, check it out. I'm in a video game. Anyway, it is called Crash Drive 3. It is developed by M2H, published also by them. Came out in July 8th, so this month. It's currently $14.99 on sale. Pretty much that price in all platforms, as far as I know. I think this game may have been a little better as a free-to-play game because I don't know if it's worth $15. It's pretty good though. I don't know. It's okay.
I would rather you charge me $5 than make it free to play. Because I just don't trust you. Because when you say it's free to play, I'm just like, I'm the product.
That's a fair point, and that is kind of baseline price for anything like this. And having online services and stuff, that cost money. So I don't know. Maybe 15 is actually a pretty good deal, but
Yeah. I mean, somewhere, but yeah, like, yeah, it's from what I'm seeing. Yeah, I didn't play it. You played it. You would
I'm the
know.
one that played this weird thing. Oh,
Right.
there's bowling pins underwater, by the way. You can bowl. So you can
Now
run
that's
in.
worth $5 right there.
Well, like I say. So here are the pros. Big open world, crazy stuff to do, dumb fun controls, fast car speed, that kind of stuff. Also fast switching between modes and upgrades kept me in the game. Felt like I was just kind of in there having fun, always moving, always juving. And the cons, it's just
Juven? Is that a
juven,
word?
juvenile delinquency, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Really ugly is my only is one of my cons. Just an ugly game. The sound is barely kind of okay. I don't think the sound's very good. The cars sound terrible, and it's just not this game is not going to win any sound awards. And it's not entirely clear what you're supposed to do when you get in. There's no tutorial really.
Yeah.
You just kind of go, and you figure it out pretty quick. But once you do, it's fine. I'm going to give it 6.5 giant volleyballs out of 10. Because
Nice.
at one point I had to push a giant volleyball around.
How did you get a half a volleyball?
You go. Wait. Oh, you're right. How do I do that? How do I do half a volleyball? Yeah, it's cool. I was gonna say one other thing, but I forgot. Oh, did I make sound for it? Hold on. Yeah, here's some sound. It's what you think. All right, but here it is. Lots of
I like it better already.
It's a dude game. It's a total dude game. Everything about this says, "Hey, are you a dude?"
This game says early 2000s, late 90s all over it.
Yeah, that's a fair.
But it's a sequel, so maybe it's a love letter to 1 and 2. Crash Drive. Actually, Crash Drive 2 came out in 2015, so maybe the first one came out in the early 2000s. So love letter.
Maybe it's a love letter. Maybe it's a
love letter.
Maybe it's a nude sext to the genre.
Right.
I don't know.
I wonder if anybody ever gets like a new game and they're like, "Oh, this is a love letter to this game." And they're like, "Oh, thank you for the love letter. It's very beautiful."
Yeah, I don't think they do.
Thank you.
I think when
they should. The world would be better if they would.
Well, it would be, but or when they say spiritual successor, like,
right?
How do people feel about that? That's a great question. All right, we are now going to throw it over to Brian, who will tell us about a little game called. I played the demo and loved this. I still don't have the full game, but tell us about Black Skylands.
Dude, you need Black Skylands. Publisher, Tiny Build, always enjoy their games. Developer was Hungry Couch Games. It is an open world adventure in the sky. It is described as Skypunk. It's top-down pixel graphic shooter set in an open world of Cloud City adventure. Powered by asteroids that are kind of spread throughout the game, as well as wind power.
Yeah.
There's sky pirates, especially early on. Later on, you run into what in the world? I didn't see that character Lily with the eye patch on. That was weird.
Yeah, one eye, man. What's going on
That
there?
freaked me out.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. And I think this is my gameplay.
I think it is your gameplay. It is.
So anyway, early on, you meet some sky pirates who are related to you in some way or another. You call them uncle at one point in time, but whatever. We're not going to get all caught up into that. But the real game here is your top-down shooter and upgrading your stuff. So you can upgrade your ships, by the way. Like I said, this is all in the sky. Open world. You're traveling between lands. They're rock formations.
They're like floating lands, right? Big floating.
They're floating lands. Yeah, it's like Sky City everywhere.
Yeah.
Not the 80s.
No, like Cloud City.
General,
kind of, right?
Cloud City. There you go.
Yeah.
Cloud City is a better description.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's pixel art. But at first, when I saw the pixel art, I was kind of like, this top down. I don't like true top down. This is not like 3/4 top down. This is flat top down, right?
Yeah.
And so at first I was kind of like, I definitely don't like the character design because it's really hard to recognize a character when it's top down completely, right?
Right.
But then I started noticing these layers of backgrounds, these parallaxing effects since you're in the sky of these clouds below you, and also these giant cloud turtles and other sea creatures that you would usually see in the sea, because that's where that's our little metaphor here, right? There's our it's a metaphor. No, it's our little comparison. We're in the sky, but it's kind of like we're in we're pirates in the ocean. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So you've got these different levels, and if you really look at the pixel art, it's just freaking amazing. The
Yeah, it's
background
great.
is just
Great
beautiful.
little details. Like I'm with you on the whole top down. Pure top down is not my favorite, but it
Yeah.
works here. And I think because of some of that parallax stuff, like tops of trees are in a different position than the bottoms of trees. They've just created a really cool, almost scrolling technology kind of vibe to it.
Yes.
It's neat.
And you're doing a little bit of platforming in this game too, which you don't usually see in your top-down shooters because there's so many places to fall. But they've given you a hook, literally a hook that you can shoot out and you can grab a hold of things. So whenever you're platforming, that's what you do. You just
it's a
and you
grappling
pull
hook.
yourself across. Yeah, you're grappling is what you're doing. You're grappling.
Yeah.
And so it's real easy to fall, but they're really gracious. Even if you fall, I mean, you can fall for like forever, and you can eventually just grapple to an edge of something and get back up. Now, if you go all the way to the ground, you will die. Here's the health bar here. But don't worry, if you die, no big deal. You have a magical moth who follows you around called Luma. Luma will pick you up. Luma will pick you up,
He
take you
acts
back
like
where you need to go.
Navi in the Zelda thing, kind of. Right?
Yeah, a Navi, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, so you got this from Grandpa early on in the story. There's a lot of really good. See how I keep falling? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm falling, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm okay now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Grandpa gives you this Luma thing. Now, Luma will only take you back to certain places. So there's levels of death. If you die and Luma has no recharge, then you got to go all the way back to the fathership. You know the fathership.
Yeah,
Did I mention the fathership?
Yeah, the fathership, not the mothership, but the
That's where your
fathership.
father. That's where your mother is. Your mother and your father are on the fathership.
Yeah.
Your father is the one who started all this crap. By the way.
Yeah.
You know the game starts off. You got your typical about to go on an adventure kind of story where everything's cool, town is cool, everybody's good, everybody's doing their little jobs and stuff,
Yeah.
and then somebody makes a mistake, and then everything's on fire.
Yeah.
And then you got to go and fast forward, and then you're trying to save the world and bring everything back. But your dad brought home this creature, this sky creature,
Yeah.
and it's called part of the swarm. And so the swarm is bad news, man. Bad news. And as you go
I've
along,
never known anything called the Swarm that was good news. So
no, it's never good news.
Yeah.
So when you first start, you're like, oh, here I am in Black Skylands, and we're just dealing with a few little bad pirates with jetpacks. Do you see these jetpacks, guys?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
just like flying around with
oh,
jetpacks.
yeah, it's great.
They'll constantly harass you. By the way, my ship also is smoking right now. And I don't mean like in a sexy way. I mean as in they cause damage,
Yeah.
and I got to repair my ship.
I think you're supposed to shoot those rocks, not run into them, but I could be wrong about that.
Well, those aren't just any rocks. Those are meteor rocks or asteroid rocks. I don't know why they're here, but you shoot those, and sometimes they'll release meteor ore, and also as you upgrade your ship, they'll start releasing like energy, and you can collect those automatically as you fly through them, and you can use your shields. Shunk, shunk,
Yeah, shields are good.
shunk.
Oh, see what
This
it's saying.
game.
The ship is
Go
almost
ahead.
destroyed every time you run into that. Every time you run
But
into that
yeah,
thing.
so what's really cool about this? Okay, if you've ever played any type of ship games where you're like having to avoid obstacles, because that's one of the things that's fun about a ship game is that. By the way, you've picked like the worst part of my whole gameplay is when I got stuck here and I was doing an Austin Powers trying to get the crap out of there,
Yeah.
trying to back up and go forward and everything else. Anyway. You're always running into things. This game has very well balanced where when you run into something, your ship takes just a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of damage as you go along. And so there's a little bit of a penalty for running into stuff. But so they're encouraging you to not do that. I've been pretty impressed with these devs because these devs took a whole bunch of different game mechanics and just put them all in this game. And then they went to the community and said, we're releasing this in early access, and we want to know what you want to see, because they knew they had some really fun gameplay here, and they knew they had a kind of really interesting story, and it's still evolving. Matter of fact, if you download the demo from last year, I think there's like a prologue or something called Black Skylands Origin or something like
Right,
that.
right.
And there's actually a different character entirely that you start off as, because in this game, this version of it, I think the character's name is Ava, I believe.
Yeah, there's
And
it's a
so-
dude in the first game. So,
Yeah, there's a dude in the first one.
Or the whatever,
exactly.
the prologue, yeah.
Yeah, so it is they've they're making a lot of adjustments, and over the next year, they're going to keep working on it. And this game is at $20, and this may be some of the best $20 you probably could spend as far as just ongoing gameplay. I mean, I have just played the crap out of this. How many hours have I put in over the last week? I think I put in about 12 hours or so, which is kind of high for, my busy life. I could, and I haven't even touched the surface hardly at all. I've only purchased an extra ship. There's multiple ships you can upgrade to. I've only upgraded my rockets one time. I've only upgraded most of my weapons just once or twice. When you're on the land areas, it's more like a dual stick shooter
Yeah.
than really a top down shooter.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
I would compare it to that. The actual floating thing is a little bit more like a well, it's like you said, it's like the Navy. You're shooting these things from the side of the ship, so you kind of want to broadside these different dudes to fight them, and stuff like that. And then
This game rewards.
You can't just shoot them like asteroid style.
No.
You gotta
No.
think about it. Yeah.
This game rewards you for skills learned. So you're flying your ship, and you also at the same time can adjust your turrets in different positions, and you can upgrade that. I think to start out with, you have 3 positions you can do: forward, 45-degree angle, and then 90-degree angle side to side. And it rewards you for learning those skills, because you can become very effective at fighting your enemies who are just kind of swarming around you. They're all, they're NPCs, but they're all on magnets. So wherever you're at, they're like just coming at you. It's like, stop it.
Yeah.
But there's like a kickback whenever you shoot. And by the way, we need to hear some audio from this too, because it's one of the most satisfying things about this game is listening to that propeller and getting those great rocket launches off and blowing up stuff.
Here's some of that. Let's play that.
Play it.
Ooh, it's chunky. It's chunky.
Yeah.
Listen to that. Ooh. Here, I'm gonna skip ahead here. Very intense, this game. Just really a cinematic.
Now, is that the trailer? Because the music isn't that intense, but the effects are that intense.
Well, let's
but the
play.
music
You have one file called Part 1 and one called Part 2. Let's play Part 2. See
Right.
what that is.
Part 2 is, that's me actually playing. That's what you mostly get.
Yeah.
There's the ship.
Oh man, talk about decent audio work compared to the garbage that was in my game. That's really good.
Yeah. I actually I felt like the music itself could have used some more variety, but the effects sound great, and what music is there is really good. So pros, addicting gameplay. And it just like I said, you get rewarded for the skills you learn. Love that. A lot of content for the price for $20. I mean, there's a lot of content here. Story is interesting. Just watching things like seeing the waterfalls fall off the edge of the screen when you fly over these giant space turtles. I mean, they're amazing. It's kind of like the space turtle in It. Did you ever read It all the way through?
Loved it.
Yeah. So there's this giant space turtle down way below, and some of the islands are actually on the back of some of these giant ocean-like creatures.
Yeah, it's got a really cool world buildy thing without telling you too much about it.
Yeah, and it's got some unique movements for hooking your way from platform, and I love the floaty feeling of the ship.
Yeah.
I mean, it's satisfying. It's always consistent with how it floats, so you kind of get into a groove or you're drifting. Love that. Only complaints I really have, Cons, very early access. You may find that you're like, ooh, they just released an update, and now I don't know what's going on, because this happened to me the other day. As you're base building and taking over these islands as you spread out in this open world to kind of like bring peace back to the world, you may find that suddenly you can't. You're unevenly matched with an island you attacked the previous time, because the update maybe made some changes to the balancing, and there's some uneven pacing in how you're how you're going forward in the story. So
I
those are the kind of
played this
cons.
on a
Early access.
controller. Did you play it on controller or keyboard?
I played it on the controller.
Okay.
I tried the keyboard a little bit, but it's absolutely, I mean, with it being a dual stick shooter for part of the game, you definitely want a controller with this. So I'm going to give Black Skylands, I'm going to give it 8 Skypunk shooting me out of 10. I should have brought more ammo because that's the thing. You've only got so much cargo holding your ship. You can upgrade that, by the way, but you only got so much ammo. And man, I just go through it because there's lots of times where I'm just, it's cannonballs basically. You just kind of shooting, and praying that you hit something.
Yeah, no,
I shoot in your general direction.
I see. Yeah, it looks neat. I played a bunch on that demo. Was really impressed with it. I think I'm going to end up getting this. It looks like my game.
I mean, and this would be a good Switch game. I think. Yeah,
you know what's heading there. It's got to be. It'll be
eventually. Like I said, I've liked what I've seen from the developers so far. They're very active, and that always bodes well for a game. So they got a Discord. That's one thing I didn't like though. I didn't care. Okay, so look here, developers, Hungry Couch Games. They've addressed this a little bit. Don't have your game end with pimp your Discord server where you just accidentally click on it every time when you're leaving, and it tries to get me to join the Discord server again. That's annoying. Don't do that.
Yeah, I understand. I don't like that either so much, but I feel you. All right, excellent work. Now, this.
It's me, Mario.
Time to play Guess Our Game. Yeah, that's right. We talk about old games, and then we got to guess what it is. And if we get it right, then there's no prizes. You just feel good about it. And if you miss, well, then them's the breaks. So, Brian, I'm going to start with your clip. No, my clip. That's what I'm going to do. This is from 1998, and I feel like I may have used this one before, but maybe I didn't. Anyway,
it's really easy to, man.
98 is a very big year for video games. It was a massive year. Half-Life and all sorts of stuff that year. It was a big year. Ocarina of Time, StarCraft 2, or 1 rather.
1.
I don't want to say anymore because I might say the one that I'm about to play. So anyway, here it is. One of those great games of that year. It was PC maybe only then? That's the only hint you're going to get. All right?
Okay.
Enjoy.
I like this.
Sorry for the wait, Mr. Flores. I am ready to take you now.
Take me? Take me where?
Now, there's no need to be nervous.
Nervous? No. It's just your appearance. It's a little intimidating.
Intimidating me,
Anything yet?
but I'm your friend.
No,
My name's Manny Calavera.
But I
I'm your new
love what
travel
I'm
agent.
hearing. 1998, you said?
1998. Chat room knows it, but don't look at them.
I'm not looking at you, chat room. You keep your answer to yourself.
Yeah.
Did you play all of it?
I played this back in the day. I'll give you another hint. It was a game developed and directed by Tim Schafer.
Oh, Tim Schafer.
Yeah. Then
Okay.
before Double Fine, this would have been back when he was with, let's say, well, I'll say it, LucasArts. That's where he was.
Oh.
So,
Okay, wait. Oh, so this is all those great late 90s LucasArts games. Play that. Can you play that first?
You want to play a little bit again? Here you go.
You just play this.
Here, I'll just get to the voice stuff again.
Sorry for the wait, Mr. Flores.
Ah,
I
yes.
am ready to take you now.
You know what
Now
it is.
is it Grim Fandango?
It is Grand Fandango. Well done.
Yes, I can see it once I got the LucasArts thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a
Little
really,
context.
really cool game. By the way, that game is currently available on
My name's Manny Calavera.
everything in its remastered version. And if you didn't play it before, that would be the version to get. It's very, very, very good. It's very good. For adventure game, point and click adventure games, I thought it was one of the best things I ever played. I loved it.
So
Okay.
there's a kind of a resurgence of point and click games going on right now that kind of has me interested. I've kind of written off a lot of point and click games
Yeah.
because I just like there's so many game things that I like to do. I just like point and click. I don't know.
Yeah. It feels like
That's
it's
so all
the
else.
domain of small developers now, though. You don't see it from big
Right.
stuff. I mean, what was in Telltale's gone now, right? Didn't they leave?
Yeah.
What's their deal? Hold on. Telltale
Tail,
games.
tail, yes, your tail.
Because they were, they're the ones that brought it back in.
They were the
mainstream.
ones. I mean, yeah, they were killing it, but they were doing it through getting these big IPs,
Yeah.
which is that's just the best way, right?
Oh, they went out of business 2018. Defunct.
Yeah.
Bummer. Bummer.
But we need somebody to write something. Now, see, the great thing about those LucasArts games like Grim Fandango, they had such a good quality of adventure, but also humor.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just really smart stuff. Sam MX kind of did that
Sam
stuff
Max
pretty
is
well,
great.
too.
Yeah, I love Sam Max.
Yeah.
Same kind of stuff. All right, here's Brian's clip. I've not heard it. Brian, any hints for
But
me?
yeah, it's 1993.
93, eh? All right. We got a Jurassic Park year is what that is.
Oh, yes.
All right, here you go. I'm playing it. Tinkle, tinkle.
Ah, the sweepstakes winner. I've been looking forward to. No! No!
Is that Tony Todd? Something like Tony
It
Todd.
sounds like Tony Todd, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But it's not Tony Todd, though. This game was developed by Activision in
Activision.
1993.
Activision. This makes me think it's like a PC CD-ROM thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of this full motion stuff going on in this game.
Let me hear that guy one more time. Hold on.
Ah, the sweepstakes winner. I've been looking forward to. No! No!
That's so dumb.
Yeah, and this is a follow-up to a series of earlier games.
Okay, so there's FMV in here.
Yeah, it went to full motion video, so yeah.
Okay.
The first one was an interactive fictional computer game.
It's not the what's that scary one?
1990.
Seventh Guest, maybe?
No.
No. Was it the follow-up? 10 More Guests? I don't remember. What was it called?
10 more guests.
What was it called?
Do you surrender?
I think I surrender. What was it called?
It was Return to Zork.
Oh shit.
We're heading back
Not
to
even
Zork.
close. Not even close. Gosh dang it. Did that thing go full to Zork? I don't remember that game.
Yeah. I only remember it briefly because I remember thinking the same thing. I was like, ooh, I wanted to play the new Zork. And I'm like, ooh, what is this trash?
Yeah. Return to
But
Zork. Still, I can get this on Steam, it looks like.
It is amazing
Is
in
it?
its badness. We need to make a film sack type podcast where we review like these full motion video games.
Oh my gosh.
I swear.
I would watch I would watch that. Well, I'm sure somebody does this
Yeah.
on YouTube already, right? Somebody's doing these.
You would think there would be I'm talking podcast level. I'm talking about let's dig into these actors. Let's really dig into what's going on here.
Man, this is ugly these days. Woo.
It is gross. 1993, so
Hey, you can buy the Activision Collection bundle, which includes
for oh my god, I see the
53
price
games,
of that thing.
$688.27. Boy, just do that.
Yeah.
Just spend that. That makes
Just a
perfect
few
sense.
games.
Yeah, it's only a little bit of content.
Oh my god, how many games is like scrolls on for pages? Oh my god.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh, we know what? I saved $75 with this bundle if I get it instead of I didn't know there was a Zork Nemesis. What is this?
I knew you'd find a way.
Oh my god, there's all kinds of Zork stuff that I missed.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you not know about Zork Nemesis?
Zork to Nork.
Nork
There's
Zemesis-
Beyond
Zemesis?
Zork, the Zork anthology. Oh, I gotta get.
Well, this game, Return to Zork, is only $6. So,
Yeah, can't beat that.
$6. Come on.
$6. Come on, I mean, you would laugh for hours.
It's one coffee, you guys. Just do it. Okay.
So want coffee.
All right. Well done. That's always fun. If you guys have your own suggestions for Guess Our Games, you can send them in. We may not use them, but you can send them in.
You can send them in. We'll probably just throw them away. But hey,
Yeah.
Send them in.
Boopshow@gmail.com. Do it today. Whoops, that's the wrong one. All right, here we go. We're going to read this email from this listener who sent that email to that address. That address again, boopshow@gmail.com. He says this. His name is Tony. That's why I keep saying he. He says, do you guys have a favorite all-time roguelike? There are so damned many, says Tony.
true story.
Tony, all-time, probably Rogue Legacy, because that's the one that broke me into that world. Right up there with Spelunky. Those two are kind of, I don't know, they come from the same era for me. But more recently, Dead Cells, Invisible Ink, big one for me. But yeah, it's hard to, I don't know, Spelunky is really hard to beat, so is Rogue Legacy. Rogue Legacy 2 and Spelunky 2, funny enough, I haven't really gotten into. And you'd think I would because I was so into those first games, but been a little slow to jump into those. Hades, of course, is on here, but for me, Dead Cells is the big winner of the recent ones. It's more my jam. Brian, what do you think? What do you like?
I figured Scott would probably go with those because those are kind of things like Scott really likes those roguelikes.
I do.
And I do too. And so I kind of went with I was like, you know what? Let's just do the two favorites for this year for me. Skull the Hero Slayer was kind of a surprise for me. I really enjoyed it. And Curse of the Dead Gods. I liked what I played. I want to go back and play more of that. But Skull the Hero Slayer, that really nailed it for me.
Oh, I gotta mention Undermine because the chat room reminded me of it. This is also recent. Dwight Schrute in the chat said Undermine is solid. Undermine is, I put Undermined. It's Undermine. Whoops, that's a 3. Anyway, Undermine is amazing for what it's supposed to be. It doesn't really break any of the rules or change it up that much, but it's this really fun delve back into a mine, kill a bunch of shit, die, come out, do it again kind of thing. And he's right. Undermine is awesome. It's very good. There's your answer to your question there, Tony. If you have a question
Great
like
question, Tony.
Yeah, it's very good. If you have one like Tony, send it in. That address again is boopshow@gmail.com. That's boopshow@gmail.com. Brian, we're about done here. Before we go, however, I'd like to say thanks to everybody for listening, of course, and for helping the show become rad. We appreciate it. If you're looking for more stuff, you can find it at frogpants.com/boop. We're Boop Show on Twitter. Brian and I do a bunch of stuff on Twitch. If you want to follow us, you can. Brian Dunaway on Twitch. I'm at Frogpants. And you can send those emails to boopshow@gmail.com. Right after this is over, we're going to give away a couple of codes. So stick around for game codes.
A couple of codes for what?
Let's see. Secret Neighbor, Hello Neighbor multiplayer, and Stubbs the Zombie in Rebel Without a Pulse. Woo, look at the free business happening on the tail end of the show. Brian, anything else you'd like to say before we leave these people to their own devices?
Absolutely. If you enjoy what we do here, you can watch me play my Boop Show homework on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Brian Dunaway. And I'll be playing Imagine Earth this next week. It is a world simulator.
All right.
And it was picked by my YouTube followers in a poll.
Okay.
I'm playing it.
All right. That sounds okay.
Imagine Earth.
I've been playing a lot of Shipbreaker on my stream, which I just find cathartic and chilling. So if you want to watch either of us do our thing, that's where you'll find it. That's going to do it for us. Big thanks to everybody for listening today. We'll be back next time with more. We'll see you then. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I don't like Steam. I love Steam.
Destroy them with lasers.
There you go.